WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, often trying rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I have the Turntable X Starward collaboration first drop blending house. So blended whiskey. Now, there is no official global definition of what blended whiskey is. So this is Australian whiskey and Scotch whiskey together, which I think is interesting. Very, very nice. 243627 is the Whiskybase number. Over here in Germany, we're running anywhere between 80 to 75 euros. Just hit the market here in December 2023. And 46% ABV. The great thing is at the back of the box as well as the back of the bottle, they have the exact percentage of the whiskey used. One thing I did not understand was their grammar here, but I'll talk about that in a second. Let me pour something in my glass so it has a moment here to acclimate itself to the difficult environment outside the bottle sometimes. That's a little bit of a joke. So we have 22% North British Virgin Oak barrels. Nice. Grain whiskey. I know that because I know that Distillery North British makes only grain whiskey. So 29% Inchgower Virgin Oak barrel. Okay, Inchgower makes only single malt whiskey. Caol Ila First Fill Bourbon barrels. 10%. Also, I know that because they make malt whiskey. And 39%, that's a lot, is Starward X Australian Red Wine Cask. Also, I know they make single malt. Therefore, that's interesting. So, what is fabulously interesting, which just tickled my little, tickled me pink, is if you go to TurntableSpirits.com, you go to our whiskeys, you go to the limited release at the very bottom of this collaboration, there's the exact blend breakdown there. And the thing is that I mentioned about the grammar is they said here the first fill bourbon barrel. They said a virgin oak barrel. They said virgin oak for North British. There's a lot of virgin oak going on here. A lot of wood, actually. Just one barrel? How big is this batch? We don't know. All right, so blended and bottled in Scotland. That's what it says here. But what is fairly interesting is on here and on my screen, they have the leading note. For example, the Starward should have a leading note, it says here, of red fruit, which is okay. Here on my screen, it says red berries. I can live with that. All right, so for Caol Ila, it says here on my box here, campfire smoke. On my screen, it says smoky sea breeze. I like that better. That's a great little thing. Even at the top of the box, it says here, bonfire smoke on a sea breeze, harmonized with notes of red berries. So you notice that up above, they have a little bit better description. So they went more for the stuff on the website. But then it gets really interesting. It says here for Inchgower, it says here, spiced poached pears. Sounds right for Inchgower, but on the screen here it says cigar smoke. I've had a few Inchgowers in my life. I've had maybe even an Inchgower from a virgin oak cask. Never have I got cigar smoke from an Inchgower. And then it says here, which I also like, the North British, the virgin oak barrel. Here it says coconut. So, for example, here above it says bonfire smoke on a sea breeze, harmonized with the notes of red berries, cigar box, spices, and coconut. Best enjoyed on a Scottish or Australian beach. I just love that last sentence. Have you been to a Scottish beach lately? I was there last year. It wasn't someplace I'm going to go anytime soon. Now, Australian beach is great. I don't even know if this is available in Scotland, in Australia. But it says here, coconut. On the website, it says berries. Those are very different notes. Don't you think? Coconut or berries, cigar smoke, or spiced peached pears. Something's not synchronized. So, dear Turntable Spirits, you can't change the box, but you could change the website, is all I want to mention. All right, so about 80 euros is what I said here. I'm going to compare it to another product from Turntable Spirits. This is the 7th product that I've reviewed already on my channel. I did the first 3 that came out. I did the 3 standard core range products. And now we have the 7th special release. There hasn't been anything else from Turntable yet. This is their Smoking Riff. Now here, they don't mention the percentages. Also here, on the bottle they don't. I have to go to the website, which I think is better done here. I like that. I like seeing the percentages here on the box as well as on the bottle. So very well done there. Beautiful, beautiful design. At the moment, for some reason, these spacey type of things are in. We have a couple German distillers that did their boxes, and they're also all out in space and so on. So I guess SpaceX and all those people that are exploring the heavens and skies and space are really doing something to influence us here. They went here for a little bit of music, so Smoking Riff, and there's everything had a music title, no music. All right, just the collaborate, the first drop. So just add a little bit. This is 50 euros. So 50 euros, 46%. This is 80 euros, 46%. This has Australian whiskey. This only has over here our, what is it? 21% Knock Do from a Pedro Jimenez Punch, and 18% Caol Ila Bourbon Barrel, and 9% Caol Ila X Red Wine Barrel, 24% Caol Pedro Jimenez, and 28% North British, also Virgin Oak. Virgin Oak, both from North British. All right, let's pull these back a tiny little bit here. So if you look at this has a tiny little bit more of a red dark moment going in here. Does it say non-chilled, filtered, and natural color? Yes, immediately I can find it. Does this say that here? Non-chilled, filtered, natural color. I find it immediately very, very nicely. It's on the front, it's on the back, it's everywhere we need to have it. Well done, boys and girls here at Turntable. On the nose. The thing that is really interesting with the drop number 1 with the collaboration with Starward is the nose doesn't pop, but yet it's very, very enjoyable. Berries, wood, a tiny little bit of malt, barley sugars and malt, and a little bit of a caramel moment going on in there with a whiff of smoke. I think 10% Caol Ila is actually a very, very enjoyable for me as not a peathead blend moment. It gives it complexity and depth that I otherwise would not have had. It's not that it doesn't have all that I'm just, saliva just spurts in my mouth and I'm just really, no, it's like, oh, this gonna be good. Over here, much more of the Caol Ila, much more of the Pedro Jimenez of the PX, a little bit of a plastic moment, almost plastic set on fire. It should be more of a smoked bacon type of moment, but it just doesn't get there. Here, I maybe could imagine the smoked bacon, but I get more of a red berries. I get a nice little fall afternoon where the trees have just started turning. You can see the tips of the leaves, the yellows and the reds and the oranges coming out, and it's just starting. Very, very, very nice. I'm going to taste, and then I have a secret task. I'm going to call the word task. I don't want to call it homework, but an idea. All right, it's not secret. It's maybe a good idea. So I'll wait until I've tried this or jump ahead, whatever you want to do. Oh yeah. This is much better than I thought it would be. The guys and girls at Turntable are they are They're honing in their skills already of blending. Um, this is nice. The smokiness of the Caol Ila is just barely there and perfect. The right amount of fruitiness is included in here. There's a good amount of wood without being too much. A little bit of maybe even peaches in here. They said pears, didn't they? So let's go for pears. I think it's more of a pear than a peach. The oaky spice is very good. Little bit of red currants. It's just cohesive, just nice. It's almost like you remember the Hibiki Harmony where you try it and it was like, oh wow, this is just perfectly balanced. That was delicate, fragile, fragrant, but balanced. This is almost like, all right, so that's almost like a Ferrari type of absolutely balanced. This is like a Dodge Ram balance. I mean, it can do anything. It goes through everywhere. It does whatever it wants to do, but yet it works. It works fabulously. There is a roughness of the wood in here that the Hibiki Harmony definitely doesn't have. Don't forget, we have the virgin oak for the North British. We have the virgin oak for the Inchgower. That's actually 51% of that. And you have a first fill bourbon barrel, which has a lot of some good amount of wood as well from Caol Ila. And the red wine casks, American oak, used once or twice. There's still tannins in there, and even from the red wine, you're getting some oak. And yet it's not overpowering oak. It's very, very, very nicely built together. There's a certain balance. It just works. And I'm going to give this actually a B minus. That is, I would not have ever suspected I was going to give this a B minus. Nice. If I go over the smoking riff, a little bit of water. The Caol Ila really powers through this. As I mentioned before, there's a little bit more of a, I'm going to use the word burnt seaweed at this moment. It's there. It's vegetal. It's should be a little bit more of a citrus moment going on in there. I want to look at the box. I have to look here. But 27% Caol Ila, 24% Craigellachie, 28% North British, 21% Noctu, 45% was PX, just 9% was red wine. Not bad for 50 euros, but not great. This for 80 euros is good, but not worth the money. This is actually for me a C minus minus D plus plus whiskey for value for money. Now, why do I say that? Now we're coming to your task. I would thoroughly recommend doing the following. Finding 3 whiskeys. Let's say you have a Starward. Let's say you have a Glencadam, which I don't have at the moment. Let's say you have a Caol Ila, which I don't have. I might have something over here. I have a Lefroy. I could take a Lefroy quarter cask, all right? Now, what I would like you to do is to actually take something and have a measurement scale. So I have, for example, just like a 2cl bottle here. I have if I wanted to go 3cl, I could have a 3cl. I could go up to 5cl and so on. So take this, put 2 cl's of the Caol Ila in here and put it into an empty, maybe 10cl or a different bottle. Add 4 of these from Glencadam and 4 of these from Starward. Blend your own whiskey. So you just wasted 10 cl of your whiskey. Invite a friend over, try that whiskey. Don't mix it and drink it right away. Let it set for 1 or 2 days. Let it just bind together. And then do it again. But this time, take only maybe 5 cl. I'm sorry, only 1 cl of the Caol Ila. Or take 4 cl. If there's not enough smoke, if there's too much smoke, vary the Starward, vary the Glencadam. if at all possible, maybe exchange the Lefroy, the Caol Ila for a Taliska. Try different things. And just don't do this on an evening and just do it as a weekend project. Think of this as maybe the project of the year 2024. Hone, improve, and even learn how to blend whiskeys correctly. That's what they're doing here at Turntable. They're still learning. They've been doing that, some of the people there, for decades. And that's great. But I think you might learn more by doing it yourself. So if you add or you subtract a little bit of one thing compared to the other, make sure you write everything down. It's an experiment. You're taking notes, and you can go back and be able to understand what you did and why you did it and so on. And that will help you a lot. Because every single whiskey you have, and I don't care if it's bourbon, Scotch, Irish, or even international whiskeys, as long as it's not a single barrel, it's a blend. It's a blend of different barrels. And the barrels from maybe the top shelf or the top of the warehouse, from the bottom of the warehouse. Maybe there's some, if you're in Scotland, you're going to actually be able to blend maybe from different distilleries, make a blended malt or a blended Scotch. If you're in Ireland, you might actually have everything from the same distillery, but if you're at Bushmills, for example, you're blending your bourbon with your sherry casks together. And if you have the 16, you're adding the port. And that's also the amount of how much you need, what should it do, and you just learn so much by blending yourself. I have friends, they just love Bookers with 10% of Ardbeg 10. I have no idea why someone would like that, but they love it and they just swear by it, and it's the best. I have some nice Pedro Jimenez sherry. I have some nice Muscatel sherry. I'll take Bushmills 10 and just add a little bit of sherry to it, and just, that's so good. And it's not a waste of whiskey. You're not going to throw any of these things away, I hope. You're going to do it in little volumes, maybe 5 cl, maybe 10 cl, and so on. You're going to mix, you're going to learn, and you're going to see actually the influence of the different casks, of the different types of whiskey on your end product. And you're going to learn much, much more than just by going out and buying 5 different bottles of whiskey, trying all 5, comparing all 5. Due to the blending, you're going to actually say, oh, okay, that does this. And you go back to that whiskey and go, oh, yeah, I really do get more of that tobacco now. Or this does that. Oh, yeah, that red berry. Oh, it's actually more of a cranberry than a currant, or more of a raspberry instead of a strawberry. Oh, I get that now. And you're going to learn a lot about your palate and about what you like and about what you think is great. Now, your friends are probably going to go, again, do I have to try? I don't get the nuance. It just tastes good. That's not good, but the others are good. Don't worry about them. They'll come around, or they'll just ignore it or enjoy getting free whiskey from you. But get their input, get a little bit of their feedback, and you're going to learn a lot if you do that as a project for 2024. So, my little secret tip of the day, blend a little bit of your own whiskey every once in a while, and you will learn a lot. Thank you very much for watching. I learned a lot from this whiskey. I learned that 10% Caol Ila can really make a great difference. I learned that the Starward is a very, very intensive, nice red berry whiskey, which I knew anyways. I think I have maybe 12, maybe 15 whiskeys already that I've reviewed. At least my German channel from Starward. Probably in the English channel has been 5 or 6. Starward's doing great things, and I really do like the concept of collaborations like this. Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, telling others, and I hope you have a lot of fun being able to blend your own whiskeys at home. See you soon. Bye-bye.